First of all, drinking and driving, incredibly stupid.
Mr. Hernandez, when did you last drink alcohol?
Yesterday.
Midnight or
Noon.
12 noon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, noon yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, 12 hours ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No.
Now the DUI investigation has begun.
Nope, don't do anything. Just
Started early. That's a clue.
46, 44, 45, 44, 43.
Yikes. All right, guys, I'm attorney Derek Martin with Driver Defense Team, and we are back with another live reaction video. So I'm going to watch this video. I've never seen it before. I just know that it is out of New Mexico, and it looks like it's one officer stopping another police officer, which is obviously an interesting dynamic. We've seen ones like this before and never know what's going to happen. So looking forward to it. I'm going to give you my analysis along the way. By all means, tell me what you agree with or disagree with in the comments. Let's get to it.
A New Mexico State police officer was on duty when he observed an Albuquerque Police Department police unit driving at a high rate of speed. The APD police unit was also drifting in and out of lanes. The state police officer turned on his lights to initiate a traffic stop. The Albuquerque police officer flashed his lights but pulled over.
All right, so we got one cop pulling another cop over. Just a little tidbit here. Jurisdiction matters. Like, where can a cop pull someone over? If it's a local cop, and like for the city, I think they said Albuquerque here. Well, then within Albuquerque city limits, if they witness a violation, they can pull that person over. Even if that person drives outside of the city limits, they are reasonably allowed to follow them to pull them over, to initiate the traffic stop, because the violation occurred within their jurisdiction. County police, sheriff, they're often referred to. I mean, everywhere is going to be different, but here then we have the local, and we have county, and they can pull people over in anywhere in the county. Highways, local places where the police patrol to, anywhere within that county is their jurisdiction. And then you have the state police, which it sounds like it's a state trooper, or however, different names, right? But state trooper pulling over this cop, and that cop, that trooper, has jurisdiction throughout the entire state of New Mexico in this case. So, yeah, this will be interesting.
how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. What's the hurry?
I'm just in my way to work. I have like 11 minutes left.
You have 5 minutes left?
Yeah, I
Okay.
go in that 12.
Okay, and also you're not staying in your lane.
I'm sorry, boss. I have a low tire. That's all it is.
Come back here and talk to me real quick.
Yeah.
It's a little uneasy on his feet. Oh, yeah.
Come back here.
Yep.
Over here. Yeah, so you're doing stand right here.
Yep.
So did you even see me on the freeway?
I didn't see you. I'm sorry.
Okay. You didn't see me at all?
No, sir.
You didn't see me at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, you're doing a $112, and I turned around. I actually saw you in the median. I turned around, and I've been chasing you probably since the 2:12-ish.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So, did you do a favor? You have your weapon on you, right?
What's that?
You have your weapon on you?
Yes, sir.
Let's put it in your car real quick.
Okay.
And your taser.
So I will just say, like, state troopers, that's what they do. I mean, they do a lot of things. I'm not trying to cut them short. But state troopers patrol the highways, largely. They do tons of other stuff, too, in every state. But they patrol the highways. And generally speaking, those state troopers are better than maybe your local police or even the county about spotting stuff, right? And during a traffic stop. And kind of feeling that here, right? I mean, I noticed that the trooper stood there and watched that guy, the cop, as he was kind of at the door, and he positioned his body-worn camera through the window to the other door so he could see how that guy was acting and uneasy. You can see that this trooper is in command. He is having him put away his weapons. He gets him where he wants him, right on body-worn camera, talk to him face-to-face. None of that is an accident. And again, that's what I'm here for, is to kind of paint with broad brushes. I have no idea what goes on here. But generally speaking, a lot of the state troopers are pretty decent at doing a DUI investigation. Doesn't surprise me at all. What I'm seeing here is is him suspecting that right away. So let's see.
Come back here.
Yes, sir.
When does shift start?
12, sir.
12? Okay, start here. So, Mr. Hernandez, where are you coming from?
Las Lunas.
Where do you live at in Las Lunas?
What's that?
Where do you live at?
Hunting ranch.
Hunting Ranch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, like, I told you to put your gun away. Okay, I'll be flat out honest with you. Okay, one, you're speeding.
Yes, sir.
With no lights on.
Yes, sir.
Two, I don't know why you keep going off the road. That's why I stopped you.
Honestly, can I show you why?
Well, you can tell me why.
It's because I don't have my other light or my other key, and so my other key, like, it fucks me up because I don't have my other key in the ignition, and so it's pulling on my belt. That's why.
Before it was a low
I
tire.
can show you, sir.
So that's why you can't stay in one lane?
No.
Okay, no. I asked you, why can't you stay in one lane?
Because I'm trying to log on to all my stuff and everything like that.
Okay. So when did you start logging into it?
Honestly, I can show you. Like, I've been trying to log on and doing all my other stuff.
Okay.
That's the only reason.
Mr. Hernandez, when did you last drink alcohol?
Yesterday.
Okay, I'm gonna check your eyes real quick.
Okay.
Put your toes together.
Yep.
I'm gonna talk about flashing lights. What time yesterday?
Probably 12.
So now the DUI investigation has begun, and you see that this is a law enforcement officer doing it to another law enforcement officer, and he still doesn't like lay it out like on a silver platter, like a lot of people have in their head. Like, next time I'm gonna ask you to do something, where you're like, no, just boom, rolls right into it. Hey, let me just make sure you're okay, blah blah. And you see, this officer's already complying. They don't have to ask your permission to do these standard field sobriety tests. You do have the right to refuse them, but they don't have to ask your permission to do it. They can kind of do the assumptive close, if you will, and you just saw that here.
12 midnight or
Noon.
12 noon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, noon yesterday?
Yes, sir.
So like 12 hours ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No. Like noon the day prior.
Okay, I'm gonna check your eyes. So nothing drink recently?
No, sir.
Okay, any major head injury?
Just a headache recently, but nothing crazy.
Okay. When did you graduate the academy?
About 3 years ago, sir.
Okay. Was I one of your instructors?
What's that?
Was I one of your instructors?
No, sir.
Okay. See my finger?
Good to know, right? So we have obviously all cops go through the academy, and this state trooper is an instructor, at least according to what he just said right there. An instructor of, I don't know, I'm assuming standard field sobriety tests and DUI investigations, but maybe not. So interesting little dynamic we got here.
Tip.
Yes, sir.
Follow my fingertip with your eyes only. And don't move your head.
Yes.
So, Mr. Hernandez, can you explain why I would smell alcohol from your breath?
I don't know why, sir.
Okay, here we go. Don't move your head. Mr. Hernandez, do you have a license?
If this guy's an instructor, he needs to go. The instructor needs to go back to training, because that was not a full HGN. That it should last about a little over a minute, and that was, I don't know, 10 seconds. So if we were in court, then again, they may handle it slightly different in New Mexico, but here we would absolutely be arguing that is an unreliable test, because it was not performed up to NHTSA, the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration's actual handbook, which I've said before, I have it in my office. I've read it. It's great reading. According to their own handbook, they did not, that officer did not do that test properly, which means the results of it should be inconclusive at best, right? Unreliable.
Can I see it? Who's your sergeant?
Sergeant Folk, Jared Folk.
Okay, wait right there. This is very awkward for me, Mr. Hernandez. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Hernandez. Stand right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, same drill. Put your heel and toes together.
Yes, sir.
Is that your sides?
Yes, sir.
Follow my fingertip. Don't move your head. Don't look at my knuckle, look at my fingertip, okay? Ready? Follow the fingertip.
Yep, you see a little bit right there.
Okay, same thing, I'll go up and down.
All right, so what just happened? Horizontal gaze nystagmus test. I think the state trooper conducting this sort of did a quick pass to see if he saw anything, and then was like, "Yeah, I do," and called ahead. Had a separate unit come out there, had his sergeant come out there, whatever, right? Because he's like, yeah, I see where this is going, and then he does the full one. Nothing really wrong with that, right? As long as he comes back and does the full one, and his final sort of analysis is based off of doing the full test, which now he's going to do the vertical. But what they're looking for, this is not a full sort of case study on how to do the HGN, but the idea is layman terms, he's looking for a involuntary jerking or movement of the eyes especially when he's out to here. And the idea here, according to NHTSA, is that when someone has consumed alcohol, the eyes jerk voluntarily, more so than if they hadn't. And yes, there's a million reasons people can have problems with their eyes and do that, but that's the test, is trying to detect if they'd consumed alcohol. Traditionally super hard to see on these. Like, our officers have body-worn cameras that are the exact same, looks the exact same as this. And it's really hard to see, if you've got, that's a flickering of like a bouncing and involuntary jerking of the eyes. It's really hard to see, even on these good, what's pretty good, HD camera here. Hard to see. But there was one point where I thought I saw it. Now, if I was representing this guy, I'd go back, zoom in, watch it a million times, right? But for here, wouldn't surprise me if this state trooper is going to say that, yes, he did show those signs of consumption.
Follow the fingertip.
Yep.
Mr. Hernandez, 2 more quick tests. We'll possibly get you on your way. Any problems walking, balance?
Does Hernandez have to do that test or these next two? No, he doesn't. But you hear the trooper, we'll possibly get you on your way. You could have just said, we'll get you on your way. You're allowed to lie to him, right? I mean, the cop is. The cop could say, hey, man, let me just make sure you pass these and I'll get you on your way. Knowing full well that he just failed the last one, all right? And is unlikely to fail the next two. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying, trying to paint the picture. Most people haven't been through this. So I'm trying to paint the picture for you that the officer's kind of the state trooper's kind of leading them on. We'll just do this and get you on your way. Rarely does that happen.
Turning?
Just boost, but nothing crazy.
Okay. Those are what you use every single day?
Yeah, relatively. I changed the insoles on them, but...
Okay. Come on, everybody. Yep, on my light.
Yes, sir.
Face your police unit, put your heel and toes together. Right now, the only thing I want you to do is just listen to me, okay?
Okay.
Can you imagine a straight line from your left foot to my right foot? Can you imagine a straight line?
I'm sorry, which way?
Just imagine a straight line from your left foot to my right foot. Okay. Nope, don't do anything. Just imagine a straight line.
Started early. That's a clue.
Don't move your foot.
Okay.
I had some goofball in a couple videos back be like, you're a terrible lawyer. You have no idea what you're talking. Everyone says that. Because what I said is people don't realize that, but you're being tested on these standard field sobriety tests before the test even starts. Here's what I'm talking about, is that officer just told him to stand there in a certain position, in this case, his left leg in front of his right, which is an awkward stance, and then he's going through the instructions. Imagine a straight line here, blah, blah, blah. The test has already begun. The officer didn't say, like, here, now you may begin the test. The test had already begun. It's how you stand in that position. Do you start early? How you, sort of take on those instructions, right? And follow the instructions. Those are all actual clues here. But this officer, I hope, knows it. He's just in the academy 3 years ago. But some guy's like, you're an idiot. The officer didn't even tell him to start yet. I know. First of all, I know I'm an idiot, but I also know that clue, that test really did begin even before the instructions are complete. That's how it's designed, guys.
Don't move your foot. Put your feet together, right? Okay. Imagine. Okay. Don't do anything. Just imagine a straight line from your left foot to my right foot. Can you do that? Okay. The line width of your foot or shoe is about 4 to 5 inches wide. Mr. Hernandez, do me a favor. On that imaginary line, place your left foot just like this. Okay. Go ahead and do it for me now. Mr. Hernandez.
I'm sorry.
That was your right foot. I said place your...
Sorry. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Test.
Mr. Hernandez, place your right foot directly in front of your left, touching the other toe, like directly in front. Hands at your sides.
Can I take off my mask? I can't see it over my bag.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Can I put them on your hood?
You can put them in your car.
Okay. Sorry, I can't see over my hood or my mask.
Tough spot.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, heel toes together. Right foot in front of left. Okay. You and I are in the same position. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when I tell you to begin, and only when I tell you to begin, you will take a series of 9 heel toe steps down that line. Look, just like this. Watch me. Don't start yet. Just like this. 1, 2, 3. I took 3. You will take 9. Once you take 9 steps, you'll make a turn. Keep your front foot planted with your back foot. Turn around like this. Take a series of small steps. Turn all the way around. And now you're facing my patrol unit. Mr. Hernandez, did you understand the turning process?
Yes, sir.
After you turn, you'll take 9 more heel toe steps down that same line, just like this. 1, 2, 3, back down number 9.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hernandez, throughout this test, keep your hand directly at your sides.
Yes, sir.
And out in your pockets.
Yes, sir.
Look down at your feet while you count. Okay. And count out loud so I can hear you. Also, once you start this test, don't stop it until you've completed it. And don't forget to touch heel to toe.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, sir.
You feel understand what I want you to do?
Yes, sir.
Next up will be step number 1.
1, 2.
Point your body work camera down. Not terrible.
9.
Small steps.
1, 2, 3,
I'll find.
4,
Oops.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay,
Not
turn
terrible.
Face me. Heels and toes together.
You heard him, Trooper Sanders' breath, boom, was on that 4th step, right? Not the greatest turn, but not terrible either. So there are a couple indicators of impairment. He's obviously not like sloppy drunk falling over, but that report, I promise you, says there are indicators of impairment.
Hands at your sides.
Can we do it on the other side of your unit? It's super windy.
What's that?
Can we do the other test on the side of your unit?
No, we're state police. Everything's done in our front.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
Because they have
super
dash
windy.
cameras.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I did the test.
Okay.
Okay. So,
No, I'm just saying that.
Okay.
The next one.
you gotcha. You can turn however you need to.
Okay.
Okay. So just watch me. Don't start yet. Just right now. Don't think I want you to listen to me. Okay. So when I tell you to begin, what I want you to do is raise the leg of your choice.
Okay.
Either your left leg or your right leg, approximately 6 inches parallel with the ground.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what the word parallel means?
Yes, sir.
You know how tall 6 inches roughly is?
Yes, sir.
Size of
Height of
cocaine.
cocaine.
Okay, watch me. Don't start yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise my left leg. Okay. My left leg's fully extended my toe.
They'll say height of a Coke can. I Googled this once. A Coke can's like 4.5 inches. Let's look. How tall is a Coke can? I always loved it, like, and again, this is nitpicky, but it's like the height of a Coke can. I get it. You say that, it makes sense. It's not, though. It's not. Coke can dimensions. All over the United States, they say height of a Coke can. 6 inches, about the height of a Coke can. No, a Coke can's 4.8 inches. That's like, I don't know, what's that off by? 20%? Yeah, it is, 20%, roughly. Like, I don't know. Should our margin of error in explanation be 20% off? Yeah, I always just found that interesting. I've never argued it in court. I just found that interesting that the thing that literally every cop says across the country is off by a pretty large margin, I think.
I was pointing, both feet are straight, my hands on my sides. Once your foot is raised, count like this. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Just keep on counting until you try to stop. Start doing this test, measuring at your sides. Look down the foot that's elevated and count out loud.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Do you fully understand?
Yeah, can I?
Sure, you can face whichever way you want. Whenever you're ready, I'll tell you when to stop.
2001.
Yikes. 2003. Okay, better. Cop knows the trick, though. You guys have heard me talk about the trick, right? Tendency is to lock the leg that's planted. People lock out
Okay,
their
come over
knee.
to me.
People lock out their knee just kind of out of habit. Officers, when they show you how to do it, and kind of the trick is don't lock out that knee. They leave a slight bend in it. You have better balance. So it looked to me, I couldn't see, but it looked to me like, I'm sure that the officer doing the test knew that and probably got himself some extra balance and some extra seconds as a result, but whatever. Still stumbled a bit. Wasn't great.
Can you count backwards?
Yes, sir.
Count backwards from the number 58 to 43 backwards.
Yes, sir.
Don't sing them. Don't sing them.
Don't sing them?
Yeah, just count backwards.
Okay. 58, 57, 56, or sorry.
You're going. Come on, don't stop.
58 to where?
43.
43. Okay.
Divided attention. This is it. This is the divided attention test. This is not, I mean, cops are trained this, but it's not actually part of NHTSA standard field sobriety test. It's a non-standard test. And this is divided attention. One is you got to count down, right, which is part of your attention, which is 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, which obviously you can do better sober, like I am now, mostly sober. And I'm kidding. And but the divided attention part is you have to remember what number he told you to stop on, right? Which again is harder to do if you're drunk or intoxicated. So that's how they divide it is you're so busy trying to count down properly, you forgot where to stop. That's the divided attention test. Really, all of these standard field sobriety tests, all of them, and the non-standard, are based off of dividing someone's attention and see how they perform. That's generally the gist of it. Like one-legged stand, right? You got to keep 6 inches. You got to balance, sure. So you think it's like a physical test, and it is. But also, you got to count, too. And you count to 30, and some people keep going, or they fall off, and then they go, hey, sorry. Like, the failure to focus in on the things you need to do and do them are intended to be indicators of impairment, at least according to NHTSA. So that's what this test is, too. And you started off, and then he's like, oh, terrible thing to do. First of all, don't do them. Second of all, stop trying to make chatty talk. And if you think you can ace these, go ace them.
Okay. 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 44, 45, 44, 43.
You done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The alphabet.
Yes, sir.
Starting with the letter.
What did I see? My attention is divided. What did he tell him to stop at? 43 or 42? 43? Okay, yeah, I think it was 2 for sure. 43. Obviously not the greatest counting. I don't know what the argument here is. He's not that smart, right? Like, I don't know. He's terrible at math. Counting, if that's even math, right? I don't know. You can certainly make that argument, but this is the thing. It's for a judge or a jury to decide if that's where this goes.
H as in Henry, stopping at the letter R as in Robert. Recite them forward. Don't sing them.
H star.
H star.
HIJKLMNOPQRSTUV. I see. I just messed it up. I'm like I said, I am sober. What was it? What did he say? H to R? See, and this would be terrible. If I was there, I was like, hey, can you say it one more time? Right? I would be failing this, and I am sober. Just a little coffee, a little espresso here. HIJKLMNOPQR. Stop. There we go. But it took me 2 times, right? And like the first time I did, kind of tried to go too fast, got flustered, like, where am I in this? Oh shit, I shouldn't be singing this. That's what just went in my head the first time I did it, right? And so I could totally see an officer being like, oh, right? And then I'm in front of a jury or a judge, and because I, ran through the alphabet and paused myself and had to think through it. So my point here is it's a super stupid, unreliable test, if you ask me.
JKLMNOPQR.
Okay. Unfortunately, Mr. Hernandez, I believe that you're well over the legal limit.
Okay.
Okay, go and take a so I will do the favor of that. Would you disagree with me?
I wouldn't agree with you, sir.
No, I said would you disagree with me?
I would disagree with you.
Okay. You're speeding.
Yes, sir.
Your driving behavior.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Did you do great in the fields? No. Do you know how to do the field sobriety test? Yes. Your speech. I've never heard you speak. The strong odor. Your eye movements. Okay.
Okay, but my eye movement and nothing else.
Okay.
I'm not going to argue.
Well, I know you're not.
I'm good. Here.
Who's your sergeant?
Do you want me to give him a call?
We'll call him in a minute.
I mean, the state trooper gave his little summary right there. I don't fully disagree with him. I mean, it's a judgment call. It's a hard thing to do. It is. I mean, I'm going to give a little deference to the police here. Of course, when somebody's sloppy drunk, it's like, okay, that's pretty obvious. But like, I don't think he is. I think I could argue that this arrest should not have occurred. I could argue it. I would argue it. But again, it's tough. It's a tough call. I want to instead say, like, good for this trooper for not turning a blind eye here.
You honestly, you don't need to do all that. Like, I can.
Well, you have your gun belt, yeah.
What do you want?
Or this thing?
Yeah.
Did that come off?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're going to take it out.
Okay. Do you want me to put in my unit?
Yeah. Face front of my police car? Yep. Look at your hands. Mr. Hernandez? I thought that's what they said, Mr. Callas.
Oh, that's my shirt. That's my partner. I wear his shirt.
Okay.
It's just because his shirt fits better.
Okay. So, Mr. Hernandez, listen to me. I'm about to tell you something very important. You are now under arrest for driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor and/or drugs. The next Compliant Consent Act requires you to submit to a breath test to determine the alcohol content of your blood. After you take our test, you have the right to choose an additional independent
He's going to
test.
refuse.
If you choose to take this additional independent test, you have the right to reasonable opportunity to arrange for a physician, a licensed nurse, or laboratory technician or technologist who's available at the hospital, or a physician of your own choice to perform additional chemical tests. The cost of this additional test will be paid for by a law enforcement agency, which is us, the New Mexico State Police. Mr. Hernandez, do you agree to take our test? Which I'm asking for a breath test.
No, sir.
Okay, sir, I cannot force you to take our test, but if you refuse, you will lose your next driver's license or non-resident operating privilege for 1 year. If you are convicted in court for driving while under the influence, you may also receive a greater sentence if you have refused to be tested. Furthermore, you will be charged with aggravated DWI, which you know. With that in mind, do you want to submit to a breath test?
No, sir.
Do you feel turn around this way? Open your mouth. Lift your tongue. Open your mouth. It's now 12:06. Okay. And I'll take the fine from you. And then we'll call your sergeant. I gotta call my lieutenants anyway.
So the question here is, it was hard to hear him. Can you use that in a defense? Initially, I said, no, you cannot, at least in Illinois, use that as a defense when it comes to like, I refused that breathalyzer because I didn't hear him, right? The only requirement is that the officer making the arrest read the warnings. They're different in every state. In Illinois, all they have to do is read it. That's it. And it sounds like that trooper read their version of the warnings. It doesn't even need to be in your language. You could speak Spanish, and the officer doesn't speak Spanish. He's going to read them in English, right? So there's no like they're not going to. Here in Illinois, they don't bend over backwards to accommodate somebody to give them those warnings. It just has to be read in its entirety. People are passed out. Officer still, reads it, but person doesn't have to understand it. They're passed out, right? So it's just a requirement here in Illinois that it just needs to be read. Different states might be different. So the answer to that is no. Like, he read it. The guy getting arrested has an opportunity to be like, hey, can you read that again? Can you clarify? Can I read it? Right? So no, it's not that would not be an argument. But in court, generally, look, this guy went down to counted past below 42. Well, yeah, sure, you can say I didn't hear. Look how windy it is, right? Of course, you can make that argument. How much weight does it carry? Well, that's up to a judge or jury, right? The trier of fact. So yes, you can absolutely argue those things, generally speaking.
No, this is Sergeant Lefebvre with State Police. Hey, good. Can you meet me here at the I-25 northbound at the kind of by Bobby Foster?
I can. Everything okay?
Yes or no? And then I'll need somebody to take the unit home or to your station. He's been arrested for DWI. No, sir.
In his unit?
Mm.
Who is this again?
Sergeant Lefebvre?
Lefebvre?
Mhm.
State Police?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you guys are handling everything?
Yes. But I'm giving you a courtesy because he was in full uniform. And all this stuff's in his unit, and I'm parked behind his unit now.
Yeah, he's supposed to be here for briefing. We start at midnight.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
What the f***? Okay, I'll bring one of my guys and we'll get it.
All right, thank you, sir.
We'll be en route right now.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
So that's the trooper calling, I don't know, the sergeant or dispatch or whatever for the Albuquerque PD. Yikes. Yeah, what the? Yeah, that's the reaction. That's probably the right reaction.
He's on his way.
Can I do anything for you, sir?
No, sir.
A little bit of shitty situation, sir. I mean, well, again, he's totally respectful. He doesn't want to blow, and it's fine. Like we'll figure it out down the road. But I appreciate you coming out.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
He's right here.
Okay. Can I step over?
No.
Okay.
You just tell him.
Sarge, the 43-1 that we had last week, the knife is in my passenger front side. I just didn't get a tag yet last week, just because everything that was going on. I don't know if that's important. I just want to let you know before, if the vehicle gets towed, people will lose their shit because there's a bloody knife in my unit. Okay. I just want to let you know, sir.
All right.
That's interesting. There's evidence, a blade, a knife, from a prior case that he was working on that's just sitting in his passenger seat. That should probably, I don't know. Maybe he recovered it on his way to work. I have no idea, but that probably should have been tagged and inventoried if it is a piece of evidence in a crime. Instead, it's just sitting in the officer's passenger seat while he's on his way to work. That's another problem. And boy, that's interesting. So this brings up a thing, which is if this officer Hernandez has made a bunch of arrests, I would assume over the last few months, years even, cases that are in court, maybe DUIs, right? Maybe like if you're the defendant or the defense attorney on that case with the knife that's sitting in his passenger seat, boy, I may have some issues with this, right? So yeah, anytime an officer gets arrested, yes, that's news for us defense attorneys. We have a system, our firm at least has a system where whenever someone hires us, we have a case management system where we are going to log who that officer was, all the officers involved, as well as their star number, right, their badge number. And so then when it's in the news or we get word or we get, it's called a Brady list, a list of officers who are not allowed to testify in court for whatever reason, we're going to cross-reference that and search all of our cases in one fell swoop to see like, oh, we do have a DUI with this officer. It's coming up in court next month or whatever. That's happened and happens fairly regularly. And my hope is that all defense attorneys have some good organized system for searching that, because that can really change a case a lot.
APD police officer Jordan Hernandez was charged with aggravated DWI driving while under the influence of liquor and/or drugs, speeding, and failure to maintain a traffic lane. His trial and employment with APD is pending.
All right, so grades here. Let's do state trooper first because I'm going to give him an A. He, first of all, had no hesitation, it seems, pulling over another cop, questioning him, had no issues, obviously, making the arrest. I mean, he was like, man, you're putting me in a tough spot, but he didn't waver on it. He didn't go back and forth on it. So kudos to that officer for what he was doing in his mind was the right thing, right? Not giving him any favoritism to a fellow law enforcement officer. Now, did he conduct a good DUI investigation? I think he did. Like, I could argue why that should be a not guilty, right? Some defense attorneys out there doing that. But I think that state trooper did a good, thorough investigation at the end of the day and made the judgment call. Now, what happens in court happens in court, but I think the state trooper put himself in a good position to get a conviction, which is, what a good investigation will lead to if the facts lead him there. All right, so A for that state trooper, and I got to give an F, obviously, to the Albuquerque PD. Like 112 miles an hour, maybe is intoxicated, right? You got to get an F for that. Like, first of all, drinking and driving, incredibly stupid. Drinking and driving in full uniform in your squad, now you think you're above the law. Going 112 miles an hour, really anytime, stupid. Especially stupid if you've been drinking, right? So he's got to get an F. Now, I'm going to give him an F also because he did all those tests. He refused the breath, which is great, but he could have refused everything. Would that be better for his employment? Maybe not. Probably not. But would that be better for his DUI case as a defendant? Yeah, probably. Because how are they going to ring him up on a DUI? Well, they're going to ring him up based on his performance in the field sobriety tests. All those things we went through. He stepped off the line, the trooper's testimony in terms of the HGN, all those things, right? How when he stumbled at sort of count 4 or 5 when he was doing the one leg stand. All those things are going to be evidence against him to show that he's impaired, as well as the driving. So he should have refused those. So F. I will say, he was respectful. He didn't argue and all that stuff, but, that's great. But he still gets an F, just because he has to. A lot of dumb decisions made, it seems, if he was drinking or under the influence. All right, this just in, breaking news. Our videographer Saldi is telling me that we've seen this officer before, the arresting officer, the state trooper. He was in a previous video called Can Flirting Get You Out of a DUI? And I do remember this one now that you mention it. I did not recognize the officer or his voice. But now I recognize the video where that girl's trying to flirt with him. And if I remember, like that officer, the state trooper who just made this arrest, was pretty sort of stoic in this one too. Like shut her down, like boom, by the book.
Right now the machine says please blow until tone stops. Let me know if you want to give me 2 breath samples.
Where should I blow? You're going to put it in my mouth.
I'll put it in your mouth.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay.
Like a balloon.
Which obviously, when you're arresting a fellow police officer or getting flirted with by someone you just arrested, that's how you want your officer to act. So even more so, if this trooper's getting a double A. But wow, I guess you do enough of these videos, you start to see the same cops over and over, I suppose. But this guy, not for bad reasons. Like I assume, like you see the same cop a couple times, like this cop may be a problem. No, this trooper gets an A in both. So that's an interesting little twist. All right, guys, like I said, we've seen these before where, it's a tough dynamic when one officer is investigating or ultimately arresting another officer. We've seen the arresting officer go easy on him. We've seen arresting officers like they did here, sort of maintain by the book and give what appears to be no favorable treatment. So, like I said, it's always an interesting dynamic, but kudos to this arresting officer here. I think he did everything by the book and didn't treat him any different than he would any other driver on the road. Thanks for watching.